it's time for a big ol' education news update, but it's not like fun, so maybe you don't want to watch. I don't know. Here you go. President-elect Elon Musk is opening a Montessori-style private school in Texas. I'm sure the instruction will be so balanced, separation of church and state will be alive and well, and everyone working there will be super normal on opposite day. The school's opening has been delayed twice now because they delayed site inspections, which are required for licensing a building as a childcare facility. And yes, he has opened schools before. He closed the first version of Astra in 2020 after his kids graduated, and its successor, Astra Nova School, which is still operational, is a nonprofit online institution with around 300 students. It lost almost $400,000 in 2 years, despite charging everyone who went there $33,000 annually, and it's online, so I don't know where that money is going, but whatever. The Department of Government Efficiency kills it again. We're gonna get more and more serious as this goes on, sorry. More than a dozen universities are urging their international students to return to campus before Inauguration Day because they're worried about Trump travel bans. And this fear is not unfounded. Trump's first presidency featured an executive order banning travel from 7 predominantly Muslim countries, and this caused chaos at airports and left many students stuck. And Trump's yapping hasn't really helped at all either. He's said he'd bring back the travel bans, and yes, I have citations for people who want to fight. And he said he would impose ideological screening to block what he calls dangerous lunatics, haters, bigots, and maniacs. And he also vowed to revoke student visas from so-called radical anti-American foreigners. Some institutions are warning that even countries like China and India could be added to the banned list. And on to Oklahoma, who has one of my least favorite state superintendents in the country. The Oklahoma State Board of Education has proposed removing all references to civil rights from the state's educational standards and require proof of U.S. citizenship for students to enroll. Obvi, State Superintendent Ryan Walters defended these proposals. However, requiring proof would violate federal law. Under the 1982 Supreme Court ruling in Plyler versus Doe, public schools are prohibited from denying access to K through 12 education based on immigration status. Need I remind you, these are children, and requiring proof of citizenship could discourage undocumented families from enrolling their children, and this could lead to legal challenges under the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. The Oklahoma Department of Education also introduced revisions to their K through 12 social studies standards as promised. First graders would study religious stories like David and Goliath and Moses and the Ten Commandments as key influences on American culture, and by second grade they'd be learning about Jesus. This is suspiciously in line with Prager U, by the way. At the high school level, there's a proposed course called The History of 20th Century Totalitarianism, and it would explain how centralized economic planning allegedly reinforces authoritarian regimes. This is a thinly veiled political indoctrination move because centralized economic planning is often associated with socialist or communist economies. Some educators on the Social Studies Standards Committee expressed concerns, alleging they were required to sign NDAs about the proposed changes. Public comments on the proposed changes remain open until January 17th, and the information on how to do that is on the Oklahoma State Department of Education's website. Just letting you know. Speaking of PragerU, the South Carolina Department of Education has become the latest state to partner with PragerU so it can be used in public schools. In case you don't know, PragerU's videos are plagued with historical inaccuracies and right-wing bias. Meanwhile, the Idaho Board of Education unanimously voted to ban DEI programs in public universities. Yikes. This resolution will take effect by June 2025, and it prevents universities from requiring diversity statements in hiring, admissions, or curriculum design. And lastly, in Louisiana, public educators were supposed to post the 10 Commandments in their classroom by January 1st, but the 5th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals scheduled arguments for January 23rd. So the law's implementation is currently on hold. But this week, attorneys general from 18 states filed documents to support this mandate. So normal. In case you missed it, the law in question mandates that every classroom prominently displays the 10 Commandments in easy-to-read font. You guys keep asking me if it can be like this big. No, it has to be at least 11 inches by 14 inches. That's big. And the display also has to describe how the 10 Commandments were a prominent part of American public education for almost 3 centuries, which the U.S. has been a thing for 248 years, so the rounding sucks ass, but whatever, who am I, you know? Mind you, a federal judge in Louisiana blocked this law, and in 1980, the U.S. Supreme Court found a similar law in Kentucky unconstitutional, so we'll see what happens next month, I guess. I so hope to return to you with some happier news next time. Sorry, guys, it sucks, but